What's up, everybody? Back out here. We gotta do an inspection on this Mini Cooper today. Then I'm actually gonna pull my truck in. We're gonna do the oil change in that, rotate the tires. It's been 5,000 miles since I bought the truck, so look forward to seeing what the oil looks like. But before we do all that, we gotta clean up some stuff, get this stuff moved that's over here in the lift. There's some stuff here on the floor we gotta move too, to try and make room for my truck, because it's a pain to turn around because of how I have the lifts orientated, and how long the truck is. Even though it's an F-150, it's still kind of a pain. Then after that, we are gonna start messing with this tree thing. We're gonna build this tree thing. We're gonna get the welder out, start building this bracket that's gonna hold the tree. We're gonna have to cut some more steel. So stay tuned. I mean, it's gonna be a good day, busy one. Truck's on the lift now. This has a 5.0 in it, and this is the second time I've done this oil change, and all I have to say is some engineer's wife must have slept with a mechanic, and now they were like, how do we piss off the mechanics? Put the drain plug right behind the sway bar so that it drips on it, makes a huge mess, and causes a bunch of headache for everybody except for him. Time to remove the oil filter. I like how Ford put little like drip trays underneath the filters. Downside is it comes out in 2 spots, so you gotta make sure you have a big enough drip pan to catch it all. But at least it doesn't get all over you. As you can see, it's dripping out the one hole now, and the downside is now it drips on. If it drips there, it drips all over the diff and the steering rack and everything that's in there. Oil change is done on the truck. Here it is. Time to pull this out, and we're gonna start doing some grinding, some cutting, some welding, and making this tree stand, I guess. I don't even know what they really call it. And I'm also gonna probably cut some steel up for that little cart that I talked about doing yesterday. I need to do some cleaning up so that I can start fabricating the base for this tree stand thing. Table's clean. Now it's time to do some fabricating. Got my piece cut the other day. I need to clean up the ends, and then I want to clean up this pin. The pin's gonna go dead center like that. This is gonna go dead center like that. I actually already have this piece marked where the center is. I'm gonna mark this center. And then we're gonna clean all the mill scale up so we can weld to it. And doesn't necessarily need to be perfect, but we're gonna try and give it our best here. Like that. You know, before we weld it, we'll square it up. Try it. We'll tack it in place, square it up. Try and keep it as square as possible. Actually, maybe we'll just get the magnet out, the square magnets. But I might put a little bevel on this side and on the other side to give it a little bit more bite. Plus, I want this side to sit a little bit more flush. Well, I want both sides to sit pretty flush because it's going to sit on the ground, and we don't want it tipping, right? So imagine like if this was under there, right? You're going to be tip-topping all over the place. So, time to get the grinder out, which is over here, and start grinding away. Little flapper disc action. So a little trick I learned, actually a customer of mine showed me this, but you get one of these fancy like burr things. I don't even know, it's for conduit, but it works in almost everything. But to clean up these insides, to clean up the inside here, you just go like that. And it works really good because then after the saw cutting it and everything, you don't have to really worry about it then with that, because if somebody sticks their finger in there, they're not going to cut themselves or whatever. But also, I actually went ahead and just kind of rounded off the ends because I don't know who's going to be handling this stuff, and the last thing I need is somebody to cut themselves. Got the pieces all set up here. I'm going to weld it like this because it'll be somewhat easier. Have a magnet on the back to keep it flush. The biggest problem is these tubes are not completely flat. They actually have a little crown to them. So, and I really want one side to be sitting completely flush. This side will have the tree on it. So I'm not super concerned about that being the problem as much as it sitting flat on the floor. So, and then what we're gonna do is on the ends, it will have anchors because there's gonna be ratchet straps that go to it. All right, got this welded up. Gonna let it cool up a minute before I grind the top welds off and the bottom welds, just to make them smooth. Sitting here waiting to get this Mini Cooper inspected, then we'll be back to doing some more fabrication. Got all that stuff welded up, and then I actually have some angle iron we're going to put on each end to try and lift up the tubing so it's not sitting directly on the ground, just to give it a little bit of rigidity, I guess, in a sense. So but I got to make some brackets to hold a 6x6 to another piece of metal that I have, and then also need a set of brackets to hold a ratchet strap on each side, and then also hold the 4x or the 6x6 to the top of the tree. So still a bunch of fabrication to do, but we got to do normal work stuff today as well. All right, so I got these 3 brackets, and what we're going to do is we're going to center them on each end like so, like little feet. That way it can kind of raise the center up a little bit. I might maybe even elevate them a little bit. That way it will, we can level it and whatnot. Got the little feet mounted on it, welded in place. So now it has a gap underneath it, but I think we're gonna have a little bit of problem because it's bouncy. And once you put that log's pretty heavy. So I feel like what's gonna happen is probably gonna have to even space it up higher. My brain is going, but anyways, you can kind of, I don't know if you can kind of get the gist of what's gonna go on here. The tree's gonna sit on that center stake and we're gonna go straight up with it. There's gonna be a ratchet strip that goes from there, that goes to the top of the tree, and then there'll be one that goes from that side to that side. And then we're gonna have a 6x6 going that way at an angle. And then I have another piece of metal that's gonna attach to the tree. So, as a little bit of counterweight. So hopefully that all works out. Taking a break from the other project, we're gonna work on this. So it's broken there, it's cracked here, it's broken there, it's cracked there. So instead of wasting time, we're just gonna beat this thing till it breaks. So I'm gonna have to cut all the the spots where it's welded to the that bar. I'm gonna have to cut the expanded metal. So I'm gonna grab a grinding or a cutoff disc, throw it on here, and actually I need to go grab a pair of safety glasses because my wife would get mad if I get metal in my eye again. These are what I'm talking about. We need to get rid of all these welds. So I'm just actually gonna just cut it on each side, get rid of the weld. Oh, missed one right there. Can't tell if that's welded there or not. Oh no, let's hit it with a hammer. If it was, it ain't anymore. So. Hang on. We got a little more cut. Gotta cut these out. Now, there we go. I missed one. How did I miss one? You hit it hard enough. So, what is it? Alright, so, if you can't see, there's a big gaping hole now, which is okay because we're going to use wider, thicker metal. So We're gonna go right over them holes, nice and easy. So got it pretty much prepped here to kind of mock this bracket, this brace across here. I think from beating on it with the hammer, we kind of flexed it a little bit, which is okay. We can make it up with weld. But I just want to get an idea here where we need to be. Maybe. Perfect. So probably gonna have to do is tack this side in place and flex this side just enough to make up the difference. But cool thing is with doing this, we can put a shorter piece in there. Probably just gonna use the same stuff, this 1x4. I mean, I could cut that down and put it in there, but realistically, I mean, we're gonna end up, instead of bolting this, we're gonna weld this right in place. So I'm thinking if I do that, I should be able to weld it, stitch weld it from the top side onto to that brace, because it'll be the same. And then, I mean, realistically, they sold this obviously so that it could be assembled, but we don't need it to do that, which I can tighten that one too far. Because then what happens is you get bolts like that. So we're not even gonna mess with bolts. We're not gonna mess with this chintzy stuff. But I think I am gonna tack this in place a while. I'm gonna tack this in place and then turn the heat down a little bit. I don't know that we necessarily need it as hot as I was running it before. The question is, where can I ground this thing to? I know where. Right to here. Maybe right here. There we go, we got a spot there. Just like that. Alright. Hopefully this goes sparky spark. Make some magic here. Back it there. Check it there. Push this one. Keep running on. You gotta turn it down a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna take some measurements next. I need to go find my measuring tape. Okay, so we got this. This is gonna fit. I'll take the grinder to it a little bit, but that's gonna go right in there. Potentially, should squeeze in there. Just gotta clean it up a little bit with the grinder. Got this ready to go. I'm gonna prep the end of it a little bit more, but gonna weld this in place versus putting bolts through it because it's not coming off ever again unless it gets broken off. Got it welded in place. Working on just tacking the spots where I had cut off the expanded metal. I do believe this is gonna be good to go. And then I'm going to drill a different hole to stick this in there. right? And then drill a different hole so that I can put the bolt in, because as you can see where it used to sit, that's crazy. Like it's not enough. It needs to sit in like probably like that much further. So gonna go ahead and drill a hole on both sides and hopefully be able to stick a bolt in there. Had to bust the old pancake hood out. The battery in my auto darkener went bad, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy. It was working all day, and all of a sudden I come back out, and now it's not working. So, but anyways, got this basically all tacked together. It doesn't look the prettiest because I didn't clean the metal, like where the expanded metal is. So, but now we are going to drill a hole to mount the rest of it, and then we're going to put it all together. It's time to put these two together, which I need to find the rest of the bolts. I don't know what I did with them. And they almost bopped in the face. This would probably be easier laying it down, but oh, those are the bolts that are in there. That's where the other bolts are. Found it. We're gonna have to grab a hammer. Try to whack these up. Don't do that. I'm gonna try and use the zip guy. I don't know if it's gonna work now. Actually worked pretty good. So my doubts worked. Well, that's good. That's together. Now we got some axles to put on. Show over here. Go through the bottom, also straight down through that. Has to go in here. Everything's hammered. Everything. Sometimes it's just a precision hammer, but everything's a hammer. All right, let's tighten these off first. this. This has the bolt on the back side of this. Actually, adjust the camber or something. I'm not really sure. I guess it just holds it in place. But okay, let's put the other one. Cause like this one. I see. So this one's all boogered up. This one got all boogered up. There we go. He's not coming out. We might have to heat him up. I'd like to get him out. All right, had to heat up this area to get this bolt out to tighten it. It wasn't in on the way. So now roll it. There we go. It's not going to stay. It doesn't want to stay. Here we go. It's leaning against us. Okay. It'll be okay. So the previous owner of this guy used it in the woods to get firewood, if you couldn't tell. May or may not be beating the crap out of me, but hopefully what we installed will hold up longer than it did factory. Might have to get the it's in my back pocket somewhere. Come on. Flex it. Get in there. You want to go. Somebody messaged me, so my phone cut out. So, anyways, I just flipped it over. Apparently, it wanted to go that way. So, there was a really specific way it needed to go. Got it. Oh. Now, the other wheel. Hang on one second, let me get it. It's important to make sure that you have the valve stem out. Okay, we're going to take the washer. The washer goes on the inside and the outside. Make sure you line it good. Screw in there. let's take that. Take this up. Okay. Yeah. It's done. Back together. It's gonna work. I don't know. Yes. Let's grab this jack. Oh, shoot, so as I like roll away or do that. Woo. That's going to be a wrap for the day. We got at least one project completely done, and then another one started. So as far as tomorrow goes, probably going to continue to work on the tree stand. That's what we'll call it. The tree stand. I don't even know. Anyways, that's what we're going to call it for right now. And yeah, so tomorrow could be an easy one. Probably not though. We got to drag. We're going to get the tractor out. We're going to drag the log in here. We're going to drag the, we'll probably just carry the 6x6. 6x6 isn't that heavy. And we're gonna, we gotta figure out how to drill a hole in the bottom. I don't think I have a big enough bit, but my buddy does. So we drill a hole in the bottom of the tree, and we're gonna try and stand that thing up, and figure it out. So I'll see you guys on the next one. I almost forgot, there's rails to go on this thing. So I actually threw them on real quick before I head up to the house for the evening.